In this video, I'll be showing you how to use the Revolve Cut feature. You can see that it's grayed out right now because we don't have anything to cut currently. But I'll be showing you how to use that feature. Um, as we move forward in SolidWorks using or creating more difficult, more intricate parts, you'll see that we actually will need to combine the tools that we have. So currently we know how to do extruded bosses. We're learning how to do revolved bosses and using the Revolve Cut today. And in the future, we'll teach you all these other tools here like sweep and loft. But that being said, we will generally need to combine these different features in different ways in order to create our part. And I'll show you what I mean when we create this part here. We'll be making some sort of cylinder with a feature that's cut out of the side of it. Okay, and so I'll do that first by creating a sketch on this top plane, and we'll actually extrude this sketch. And so this is what I mean by we'll be using multiple features. We'll be using the extrude here as well as the revolve cut in order to create our part. This is something that wouldn't very easily be made only using extrudes, and it wouldn't be able to be made only using revolve cuts. And so that's why we need to combine them. And so I'll be extruding this 4 inches from the mid plane. Hopefully this is pretty familiar to you at this point. And now let's say I want to cut some sort of shape out of the side of this. I don't want it to go all the way around. If I did want it to go all the way around, I could have just used a revolve, but I only want it to go part of the way. And so that's where the revolved cut comes in. What I need to do is I need to open up a new sketch on here. And so I will create a sketch. Okay. And I'll draw the shape that I want to cut out. So I want it to be this sort of trapezoid out of the side. Okay, and again, like before, you need it to be a closed loop. You can't really tell that it's a closed loop because the part's there, but it is closed off. I did close those off purposely. In the last video, I showed you how to input an axis right here, but you can actually just use a construction line in the same sketch, which might be a little bit confusing. I told you to avoid doing that before. That's if the construction line is part of the piece that you're going to revolve. But because it's not actually part of this portion of the sketch, it's totally fine to use a construction line there. And we can use that as the axis. So now I can use a revolved cut here. And first we'll do 360 degrees. And it's just like the normal revolve. It already guessed what line I wanted to use as an axis, which was that construction line. And I just pressed revolve cut, and it did the cut for me. And so you can see what that looks like. I hope you can imagine from your little experience with revolves how you could have created some sort of shape like this using a revolve. It should have been very easy. You could just sketch the outline of this and revolve it, and you'd have this shape. So that's why using revolve cut, you probably won't necessarily need to do 180 degrees, or sorry, 360. So this time I'm only going to do 180. And now you can see this sort of shape here would be very difficult to create using just a revolve or just an extrude. It's very easy to do using the revolve cut because you can just do part of the way, but anything else would have been pretty difficult. So I hope that makes a little bit of sense and gives you some direction as we go forward doing the example videos with different revolves, how to use the revolve cut in conjunction with other parts, other features, because we will be using other features as we create our parts going forward.